Okay, so PTTP is here at the Home Office here in Victoria area of London, and we're here to actually cover a bit of a story. And it wasn't a plan to come here today, but while I was getting ready this morning and I was doing a bit of reading, I came across this website, computerweekly.com. I was just looking at the news and it linked me to this, and it details that the Home Office are basically doing a review of the Investigatory Powers Act 2016. Now, in that, there's a lot of implications within that. The main one that stuck out for me is that they want to change the main thing that sticks out for me in that is that they want to change how internet connection records are kept and maintained by internet service providers and telecom providers. So it says the Home Office calls for a rethink on safeguards that limit access by law, enforcement and intelligence agencies to internet connection records. The Investigatory Powers Act gave public authorities access to ICRs held by telecommunications operators for the first time when it became law in 2016. ICRs include records of websites visited by individuals, but not the information searched for, records of new sites visited, but not articles read, and records of people accessing mobile phone apps, but not what activities they carried out using the app. The National Crime Agency has carried out a trial of ICRs working with a small number of telecoms operators. The Home Office review reveals. The trial focused on access to websites whose sole purpose was to provide access to illegal images of children. Over 120 subjects of interest, SOIs, have been identified accessing one or more of these sites. Intelligence checks suggested that only 4 of these SOIs could be positively confirmed as previously known to authorities. Unquote. But the Home Office said that conditions laid down by Parliament to strike a balance between intrusion and privacy need to be revisited. ICRs appear to be currently out of reach for some potentially key investigations, such as those seeking to identify individuals involved in some of the most serious crimes. So, the reason I bring that up, now, obviously I think we can all appreciate that it is important that the people doing these actions need to be held accountable. They need to be caught and they need to be punished for what they're doing. However, what I find most interesting about that is the trade-off between security and privacy. So, for the sake of what they've said, they've identified 120 individuals, 4 of whom were previously known to authorities. Now, a 120, when you work that out as a ratio or a percentage against the entire population of the United Kingdom, that's a fraction, I don't know, probably a thousandth of a fraction. I can't, probably less than that. I'll do the maths and put in a screenshot here of the actual percentage. But obviously my channel is named Power to the Proletariat. Now in that we have that it's based from George Orwell's book 1984. Now in that George Orwell wrote that basically the future was a police state. What George Orwell didn't envisage was that the technology would change so much from his time. So he envisaged it as, TV screens in your apartments monitoring your every word, and spies, the thought police, and getting kids as recruits to spy on people. Now, with the change in technology, I feel like what that is actually becoming is something entirely different. Same concept, but different technology. You wouldn't allow somebody to strap a camera to you, which would live stream to the government at all times, so they could track your every single move. That would be a blatant invasion of privacy and would never hold up as being passable in law. However, I feel our digital lives are just as real as the ones that we walk around in our day-to-day, like I'm doing now. But our digital lives are just as real. Our digital lives hold pretty much all of our personal and private information. Everything that we do, other than go to work and socialise with our friends at the pub and doing activities, pretty much everything else that we do is online. So what they're asking really, and what they're pertaining to, in my opinion, is to put a digital camera on every single person that will live stream to the government. Now, they say that the majority of this data will be of no interest to the Home Office and it won't be used. But whether or not they use it or not, the fact that they have the potential there to use it, to track somebody at their whim, I think is morally reprehensible and absolutely unfounded and absurd. So this is something that I wanted to bring to your attention, and which is why I've come down to the Home Office today. And so I wanted to use the building as a backdrop for the story, because this is the building where they are discussing this legislative change, this review of the Investigatory Powers Act, and this is where it's all happening. And it's not in any mainstream media that I've seen. They have until March 10th to rewrite this legislation, from what I remember reading, which is only a couple of weeks away, 3 weeks away now, and it's all being done hidden from public eye. There we go. So I'm going to sign off from this video here. I'm going to stick around and get some B-roll footage, and get some shots of the surrounding areas, the building, things like that. But I'll link the article, because there is much more in the article to read that was really important. It's a very jargon-heavy article. I had to read it twice to really get my head around it. There was stuff to do with bulk personal data sets and the way that they want to change how those are handled and exchanged between different agencies, which again is a whole other kettle of fish. I'm going to try and link Black Belt Barrister to this video and see if he'll do a bit of digging and a bit of reading, and if he'll weigh in with his expert legal advice on what his thoughts are on the matter. So with that, I'm going to sign off here, guys, and I'm just going to go get some B-roll footage. So, as always, stay safe, remember your rights, and until the next time, ta-ra. We'll also find really particularly interesting that all of these offices are completely empty, which is just crazy to me. Clear from that angle. Anyway, I'm just going to get a picture of that, so if you don't want to be in it, if you want to stand outside. Cheers, mate. Simon. Let this chat pass. Cheers. Yeah, so I think by the looks of it, it looks like this building connects quite clearly with this one. So I'd imagine that's all home office as well on that side. But so I don't know if the camera is going to pick this up. No. Bear with me, I'm just going to stop the video and I'm going to pick back up with a different kind of zoom. Alright guys, PTTP is going to wrap this one up here. So we've had a little bit of a story, some interesting shots, and then yeah, we're going to wrap up. The chances of catching Suella Braverman coming in or out of here is going to be slim to none. Like I said, from what you can see out of here, the office space is very underutilised. I'd say maybe 10%, 5% even of office space is actually being used at the building, which is ludicrous. You think how much it costs to build this place, run this place with terms of electricity, heating, etc. And yeah, probably 5 to 10% of office space actually being utilised. It's dreadful state of affairs and really puts into perspective things like the cost of living crisis. People can't afford to put literally bread on their table, yet the government can afford to waste resources funding a building of this magnitude. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, this is how far this building goes around, and all the way back down here as well. It's unbelievable. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up and head down to a job centre. And as always, guys, until the next time, stay safe, remember your rights, and ta-ra. Just noticed actually, I've been here before, but I was on the other side of the road, because I remember I came down this side and you got the Department for Transport on this side of the road, and I didn't even realise when I came up here last time you got the Home Office just on the other side of the road here, so I didn't even realise that was there last time. But yeah, so you got the Department of Transport here at Great Minster House. I think last time I called it Great Minister. But yeah, so here at Great Minster House. Yeah, so that's interesting. Yeah, Department for Transport. You can't really see much in there, other than you've got like the gates and stuff that you can't. So obviously it's all gate controlled, security controlled, in and out of the building. And then you've got some banners up in there about something called 1,000 Kisses. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, right on their radios. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't need any help, thank you.
Sorry?
I don't need any help, thank you.
Are you filming the building or what? Or
Yes, yeah.
which organization from?
Pardon?
Where are you from?
What do you mean, where am I from? That's a bit of a racist
which
comment.
Which company you're from? Which organization you're from?
I never said I was with an organisation.
You are...
You're making a lot of assumptions here, my
I
friend.
tell you, it's yourself only. Yourself, you're taking photo.
It doesn't matter.
No, my supervisor asked me where you come from. Where
Okay.
you come from.
You're I'm not going to give you any information like that. It's none of your business.
That's fine.
I'm not coming in your building.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just repeat my...
Yeah. Very strange. But yeah. So these are actually employed by Mighty. They're not employed directly by the government. And the guy in the white shirt doesn't have an SIA license. And I don't know if he's got one, but it's not on display. He's got a brown case around his neck, so it might be in there. Yeah, let's go up to somebody and ask them where they're from. How ridiculous. Yeah, so I had the same thing, or a very similar thing last time. Last time it was a lady that came out and gave me a lot of grief. So that must mean up around the corner on the right hand side there is what do you call it? MI5? Yeah, MI5. So yeah, I know where I am now. I've got my bearings, which is interesting. But yeah, we're not going to go do MI5 again today. We've done that one to death over the years between all of us. I'm going to head on. Otherwise, I get sidetracked easily, and I won't get around to the places that I actually had planned to go to. So yeah, as always, guys, stay safe, remember your rights, and until the next one, ta-ra.
You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you